Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is the character. This is the finished run, by the way. Just kidding. I thought it would set you. I guess you have to finish the final cutscene. This was done without creatures. And see if I can match that with creatures. It's been a while. I did a little bit of practice. Let me know if the audio is all good. Actually, the music might be muted. I'll have to check that. Or you can just tell me if you hear the music at all. It's working? Nice. I think the song might be a little bit quieter than most. We'll see. Yeah, I would like the music to be on the quiet side. Also, I'm not playing Survivor. What am I doing? Just jump that. I kind of had to get used to Hunter movement again after playing like so much Spearmaster or so much Survivor. That never changes though. Okay, this is a start. I don't think I've played Spearmaster since the recent updates. There's actually been another update. I think. I'm pretty sure. Just like a handful of smaller bug fixes. Also, in the previous patch, one of the changes was removing the spears that you leave in your shelter as Spearmaster. The needle cleanup, I think is what the mod is called. That's part of the game now. Which is actually a very, very small time loss in a few sections where you want to hold on to spears for throw boosts right when you wake up from a shelter, but it doesn't really matter too much overall. I don't know if you can turn it off. The only remix setting that I'm aware of that's been added since the update is the ringing sound that you hear after explosions go off. I know that there's an option for that. I don't know about the rest of the quality of life stuff. It's a good start. Just remember how to play Spearmaster. They're kind of like the polar opposite of Monk, where every creature hates you and there's a lot of them, and you are also trying to kill them back. Which is unfortunate for a speedrun. Kind of don't want that. I need another... Oh, here's an item. Red Lizard is annoying. I just wanted to see that I'm here. And then they'll go to the other side. There's a White Lizard there. Well, okay, it doesn't matter how long this takes because these guys are going to be in the way no matter what. Thinking if I stab him, he's gonna be much less likely to actually attack me. Oh boy, another one. Not that guy though. Now he should be mad at me. Yeah, that just happens sometimes. The death tunnel. Also, I feel like something that's been added in the update. You see this like very, very faint things in the background with like chains connecting to them. I think those have been added. I don't know if they're intentional or not because they kind of look like they're hanging off of nothing. You know, there's another area where they're visible. You can see some in the background of this room too. There's like chains. Maybe it's like a background layer that they changed the palette of. But I don't think those used to be there. But there's one spot where it's very noticeable. I'll point it out later in Chimney if I make it there. Vulture. Oh, come on. Well, that sucks. I didn't really have enough spears prepared, I don't think. So this is a pretty slow start. Oh. That's one of the more interesting ways that I've acquired a mask. It's still very slow, so it doesn't matter. Oh, and there's a free mask just right here. And an annoying lizard. So all of that was a waste of time. Isn't that cool? Hello, welcome to the stream. Let's not do that today. Okay. I did not expect the drop rig there for some reason. I guess I should have. I didn't even like look for it. Hello, excuse me. Yeah, good job. But look in the background of this room. You see all those chains? Oops. Like right here, there's a ton of them. What are they hanging off of? It's like a whole background layer that is now visible or that got added or something. I have a feeling that might be something that's been there the whole time. And they changed the palette that makes them more visible, or they like changed some code that makes the layer visible where like maybe it just wasn't rendering before, but it was there. I don't know, you have to go back to like older versions to check that, but it would feel weird for them to like go through and add these like this one particular object to a bunch of rooms for like one very small update. Like an overall like palette change sounds a lot more reasonable. No idea where those lizards came from. Also, they might have just died. Also, I don't like this guy. Just eat the lizards. They are much more nutritious. Oh, good job. I'm on a soft time limit here, by the way. I have to get through this room pretty quickly, and I'm not doing a great job. This vulture's gonna see me now. This is a really annoying place to fight a vulture, because you're on these poles the whole time. They have a huge advantage. Unless you just run by quickly. Here we go. Yeah, thank you. Oh, come on. I assume that it's just some specific adaptation that the lizards have, because they have no other way to get around the worm grass, so it's like way more important for them to avoid it. I might have panicked there. I don't know if it didn't kind of look like those scavengers were trying to kill me. I might have been able to just run past and not lower my rep at all. But also I'm hoping that if there are scavengers in that room, there's not going to be scavengers in the next room. Yeah, I don't think it has to do with weight, because deer can get eaten by worm grass. It's specific. Pretty much every creature can be eaten by worm grass. It's just like green lizards have immunity to it. There are scavengers in this room. Those are the only ones. Are they actually light? I still don't think it has to do with weights. It feels like a hard-coded like immunity. They're just like Wormgrass just does not affect them at all. I have no idea what the space is. Hello, welcome to the stream. I don't need to get food, definitely not. I've messed that up too often recently. Wow, that was perfect. Oh yeah, people watch stuff on their phone. I still can't. Well, I'm not recording. I'm gonna start recording in case screen breaks later. Hopefully the beginning of the run is safe. That I didn't lose any frames. So oh shoot. I'm not gonna go through unfortunate developments. It only saves like 15 seconds at most, and it just is way too risky for just a very small time save. And I've optimized the other routes so much more anyway. Drifting to the side a lot here for some reason. I mean, unfortunate development probably saves more time if you were to practice it a lot and find a really good route through it. Because, you know, comparing a route that I take all the time to routes that I just like did a few attempts of, you know, it's going to be unfair, but it wasn't the kind of, like, if I saved like a minute or maybe like 30 seconds, you know, maybe I'd see like, oh, okay, it's probably worth like practicing this route for like a potential like minute time save. I think that might be like the amount of time that you need to save to be worth it. But it's just way too easy just to die. The DLLs are random. You know, I like that there's part of the run that is kind of risk-free, except it totally is still like the inspectors, and also the chance of like doing stuff like this. So I'm still losing a lot of time right now. That was really close. Inspectors can kill you if you drop the pearl at all. You lose a ton of time. There's still plenty of ways to lose time, but at least you're not going to die, right? Just don't mess around with the inspectors. If I went through unfortunate developments, then I'd have to make it through Chimney and Industrial and all that, and then hope that I don't die in unfortunate development too. Like you can kind of push yourself off of that wall there just by rotating a little bit. Oh, you see what I did there? I was kind of like climbing next to the pole in a way that like lets you go faster than if you're actually like on the pole completely. And thank you. Oh my gosh. You're so close. This is a really bad pace, by the way. The beginning of the run was just too slow. I think getting the Vulture Mask was a big part of it. I mean, if someone wants to research it and go in depth, how much time you can save from unfortunate developments and find an exact number, that'd be nice. But from the test that I did, it did not save a significant amount of time. I mean, it saves time, but not like so much where it's like, oh yeah, this is like obviously the route that you need to take. It did not feel that way. I was kind of going sideways there. So yeah, I'm like actually a bit over a minute behind a good pace. It's been unfortunate. It was also an industrial with the lizards. I mean, anyone can contribute to a speedrun without actually doing the run. I kind of wish more people were involved in like optimization of speedruns. Because if you don't want to do a speedrun because it's oh look, the speed disappeared here. But if you don't want to do a speedrun because it seems annoying or it seems like too difficult or like any other problem, you can still improve the speedrun just by researching it, finding places for optimized movements or new routes. You know, you can still contribute. Unfortunate development does not have alternating gravity. I don't think so. It's the kind of thing that I wish happened a little bit more in this community. Just discussions of like how speedruns can be improved. Because pretty much the only people improving speedruns are the people actually doing the runs themselves, which makes sense. Obviously, like, if you're doing a run, you're going to find places to optimize it. But there's, like, unless, like, outside of, like, the handful of people who are actually doing runs, there's not really much optimization going on. And then sometimes, like, one random person shows up and they're like, I'm going to improve the speedrun. And then they post, like, a bunch of, like, new tech and new routes and new movement. And it's like, wow, thank you so much for contributing. You know? Like, just a single person can really, kind of invigorate the community. Like, that's all it takes, really. Of course, like, having knowledge about the game does help. When you're looking for optimizations, you know, like, what kind of movements is optimal, kind of strategies that you tend to use. And, you know. Like, so any random person probably can't make or can't contribute too much. Oh, that was actually kind of close. So I feel like if someone wanted to, like Gourmand Story Percent is a good example of a run where if just a single person were to spend some time trying to optimize it, they could definitely improve the run by like a minute. Because I feel like I've been the only person who's like actually looked into the run. I've made changes to the routes and to the like crafting and stuff. But of course, I'm not focusing too much on Gourmand Story Percent, so anyone else could be like, hey, like, let's try out this strategy, let's try out this route, you know. What if you craft this thing here, you know? I mean, there's still a lot of rot in the areas where the rot makes a difference. Like in memory conflicts, there's a few really difficult jumps where you have to avoid the rot. And the first few rooms where you're going down in unfortunate development, those are still like pretty rough in terms of DLLs. But then, you know, after that, it kind of goes down a little bit. That's not cool. Like if I give them the pearl, that'd be nice. And of course, they're going the way that I want to go. Or just throw the spear. Watch me like go out of the pipe and then he throws the spear just immediately. Problem is that these guys are here now. Well, yeah, okay. He didn't want the pearl. He took the pearl, but he didn't want me. No peace. I was worried that's too far, just kidding. I wasn't far enough. I guess I'm kind of used to it at this point, but it's just so normal to spend 30 minutes on a run just to die to some random thing. Like, oh yeah, there's scavengers there, and one of them decided to kill you. You just lost 30 minutes on that attempt. It wasn't a very good attempt. But that was also out of my control. I guess I could have killed that King Vulture sooner, or just kept going and then killed the elite scavengers, but I couldn't have known that they were there ahead of time. And I mean, if you're on bad pace, if you know that you're already like losing 2 minutes, could you just restart now and save the time, or should you try to keep going anyway? Maybe hey, you get lucky and you finish a run, but you know you also lost those 2 minutes, so you have to do another run this time trying to save those 2 minutes. Or could you just reset and don't even bother with that at all? 2 minutes of time loss is too much. Hunter story. I've considered running Hunter story. I had a plan to just like secretly practice the category and just like try to get world record without saying anything about it. Just sort of like it would show up on the leaderboards just like new Hunter story world record. But I had pretty much no motivation to do that actually. Especially when I was already like focused on so many different things. Probably dead. Nope. It doesn't look too bad of a speedrun, because you're carrying a Vulture Mask for the vast majority of the run. I think you drop it when entering, like, Shaded. It's pretty much just the very end of the run. When you're going to Moon and the sub. But yeah, I mean, the problem with that is that it means that I have to play the game a lot more off stream too. And I think it's nice to, because I pretty much only play Ramworld on stream now, and I think that's a good thing, so I don't get too burnt out. I mean, I already do get burnt out just playing on stream, you know. So if it's like, all right, I finally finished the stream, I can take a break, time to play more Rainworld, you know. I don't think that sounds great. I mean, the current Hunter story percent world record looks improvable in the same way that Spearmaster story percent world record looks improvable. Like, yeah, here's a mistake, you know, look at all these ways to improve the run. But, you know, what's more difficult is actually finishing a run without having those same mistakes happen. They're not, those mistakes are more like just RNG, right? Is a creature gonna try to eat you here? Is there a vulture here? Is there scavengers here? I don't know, I haven't really attempted the run at all. And I know that if I don't really practice it too much, I'm just going to be at a disadvantage in terms of movements. So I would kind of just be relying on luck. I don't know, maybe I'll run it anyway. Don't make it a secret thing. Just kind of do streams of it. But you know, then I'm split across so many categories: hunter story, Spearmaster story, Rivet story, monk story. Like, I'll probably do it if I manage to get all the other world records. That would be the last one remaining, right? But I feel like at that point, some other people might have motivation to get some of those records back, you know? Or that's kind of what I'm hoping for, right? I think it'd be kind of boring if I got all the world records and then everyone just kind of stopped playing. Or if they were like, oh, I'm probably not going to beat that time anyway, so I'm not going to go for a world record. I'm just going to try to improve my PB. I think that's, at the moment, Gourmand can be improved. Saint can be improved, definitely. Spearmaster, I kind of doubt it. I mean, I think it'd kind of hurt if I spent so long getting the record and then someone else just showed up and got it in much less time. So, if someone does go for the term or try to improve it, I feel like it'd take them a very long time. That has been the experience for everyone attempting this category. That it just takes forever to even finish runs. Let's see fastfall grapple if you can find a place where it's actually useful. But I don't exactly understand where it would be. It takes a long time to set up for a speed boost that you can get just by grappling pretty well anyway. And you have to like perfectly maintain that speed boost for a room where it should be long enough for you to actually like fully make use of it, right? Or precipice. Hi Monk. Hello YouTube chat. The chat was not scrolling for a while, so I can actually read it now. I never know if the chat isn't scrolling because no one's talking or if it's because it's broken. Hold up, there's a lot of messages, goodness. I missed so much. So hello everyone who's joined the stream in the past like 10 minutes. I can read your messages now. Well, there's a few questions I want to talk about. Speedrunning is definitely a very collaborative thing. It's rarely just like, I don't think there's ever a situation where there's like one person who's like, usually if someone has a strategy that gives them an advantage over everyone else, they will probably share that strategy with other people. It's not like, oh, I have a secret weapon, I'm going to, you know, hide it from people so I have an advantage. People don't do that, and plus, if you get a record with that strategy, people are just gonna look at what you did and use that strategy too, so you can't really hide anything. So like, just by doing runs and submitting them to leaderboards, people are going to like learn from it to try to improve. And you might as well make that process easier just by sharing your strategies and be like, hey, this is what I do. It makes it, you know, makes this part of the run easier, this part is faster, and it is competitive, too. People do want to get world records to beat other times. But usually, you know, you're just as happy when someone else gets world record than when you get world record. Even if it's beating your own time. Like, it's not like, oh no, someone's beating my time. How dare they? It's like, nice, someone improved on this category that I like. Like, I get to see how they improved the run, and maybe I can learn from it too. At least I hope that's how it is. I hope that I don't bother anyone by taking their world records. That's a funny idea. Hey guys, please don't kill me. Thank you. There's another question. Why is this category taken so many streams compared to others? Because it is difficult. Why does it keep defaulting to Monk? It's like you should play Monk Story. It's way easier than this, even though I haven't finished a run for that category either. Yeah, Scavenger's gonna show up in that room. It's a long category. It's probably the longest speedrun that consistently has or things that are very likely to end the run. That's kind of true for Saints too, but I feel like Saint is actually really easy in comparison. Maybe it's the mobility thing. What is difficult about Saint? In the very beginning of the run, what can kill you? Maybe orange lizards, but probably not. You have such good mobility, you can kind of just sling past most of them. Vultures don't really show up, and you can outrun them all the time. I don't think there's any king vultures or Miros vultures. I guess the first danger is, okay, when you try to grab a yeek, there could be a white lizard there and a caramel lizard. But you can kind of just like ignore them. Yeah, I'd say the first dangerous thing is the spiders in farm areas. But most of the time they don't really kill you, they just kind of get in the way and you have to wait for them to move. And it's a time loss, but it's not a death. So every run that you do might have time loss, it might not, but you're probably going to make it through without dying. Unless they like snipe you and then you get paralyzed next to another spider. But even then you can usually move far away enough so that they don't like track you down after hitting you with a dart. I guess there's some centipedes in the next area, but usually you can just kind of jump over those with the yeek. And then what is dangerous after that? I guess when you try to get down into subterranean, right? There's mole lizards, spiders, and a red centipede. That can be dangerous. That can definitely end a run. That whole area is just kind of a whole mess. There's a spitter spider later infiltration, but you usually can ignore or avoid them because they're pretty consistent in where they show up. Good job. I feel like there's just so many stretches of the run that are just like pretty peaceful, or you just move so fast. Like all of Subterranean, past filtration system, you just like swing along the ceiling and just ignore everything. All the drop pigs and centipedes and kelp, you just swing past them. Whereas for other characters, you have to dodge the drop pigs, you have to fight the kelp, you have to like jump over the centipedes somehow. Shoreline is pretty peaceful, unless Miros vultures show up, but those are somewhat rare, and you can usually just kind of hide in pipes. They're a problem. And there's only a few dangerous rooms in Silent Construct until the Echo like disables everything. And then eventually you get the ability and you just kind of fly and like kill creatures at a distance. So compared to Spearmaster, Saint has way more mobility, and with the ability, you're much better at like getting rid of creatures that are in the way. Like you can kill a red lizard if you need to, and that's useful in Rubicon. So even though Saints is also a pretty long run, roughly the same length as Spearmaster actually, it's like way more consistent. I've finished like several Saints runs, although I have yet to finish a run without any deaths. The current run has a death in the filtration system that loses like 30 seconds. Yep, there's no alternative. You have to make that jump. This right here, that jump right there is actually a big reason this run takes so many attempts. If you mess up that jump, you have to spend like 4 minutes to get back to that point. It's been very easy to mess up that jump. Either that or you have to fight the drop legs, which did not go well. Good job. So, I mean, every single area, stop going amok. Every single area from outskirts, industrial chimney, the wall, they're all extremely dangerous, even with a mask, because vultures can still kill you, scavengers can still kill you, some slime lizards or white lizards can kill you if they, if the fear timer runs out. Like, even a mask doesn't save you, and trying to get the mask, of course, can kill you. And all of that is just the first, like, 15 minutes of the run. All of that is, I mean, it's more like 10 minutes of the run because the outskirts is safe before, until you get to the shelter, but, you know. I mean, even then you can die to the red lizard or scavengers. Like, I've died a few times so far. And that's just the very beginning of the run, which is honestly the motivating part, because it's not like you're not making any progress at all. Like, you spent a whole day attempting the speedrun, and all you've managed to do is die in the first 3 regions, just like 10 times in a row. If you die at the very end, yeah, that sucks, but at least you know that you can make it to the end. Spearmaster doesn't even give you a chance. You'll spend a whole day doing attempts, and all you manage to do is make it to the wall like twice, and die there. And that's not even the hardest part of the run. I'd say some of the harder parts are in, like, Underhang. Where you have to manage grapple movement with a pearl. You can't throw any items. And there's some rooms that are, like, just packed with creatures, like the white lizards, spitter spiders, dropwigs, slime lizards too. And you have to go through those rooms twice, with no items either time. I mean, it depends. I think the beginning of the run is harder if you are trying to go fast. But at least you have the option to slow down and take your time and deal with the creatures one by one. You know, you'll go slower, but you'll probably survive still. And of course I missed that. And also I totally hit that dropwig. Whereas for going from Moon to Sky Islands, you have no other options. You just need to go as fast as possible, or die. And also probably die even if you go fast. And taking your time means that you have to drop the pearl, create a spear, fight the creature, pick up the pearl again, and then move on. Like, it just loses way more time, and it's way more inconvenience. In the dragon jump, it doesn't even... Technically, you can never mess it up. I mean, obviously you can, like, fail the jump, but you have infinite attempts. Unless the cycle runs out, really, but usually that's not a problem. You have, like, a few extra minutes to spare anyway. I'm just resetting because it feels awful to waste a minute just doing nothing, you know? And I think the whole thing is amplified by the fact that Spearmaster just isn't a very strong character. I think Hunter would make this a lot easier. Actually, significantly easier, because you can always hold an extra spear, and you can store the pearl. Hunter would make this so much better. So it's actually like... And Hunter is arguably one of the weaker characters in Downpour. They don't have any, like, crazy overpowered abilities. I messed up. I think Ormond would probably still be more difficult though. But Gourmand has the benefit of having just easier spawns overall, you know. Not as many red lizards, not as many king vultures, you know, and so on. There's no sand lizards on the wall. Considering speedrunning Spearmaster as Hunter. Yeah, and even if you had to carry the pearl with you as Hunter, you would always have a spear ready. Which is still better than Spearmaster, because you'd have to like wait to generate the spear, right? So yeah, technically you always have access to a spear, but it takes some time. Yeah, and you wouldn't even have to do that as Hunter. Yeah, the game might crash. I don't know if the mods handle that kind of situation. Like if you could still like do the whole quest as Spearmaster, or in Spearmaster's campaign as a different character, because you wouldn't have the pearl in your stomach, right? Unless that does count. But it's complicated, you know. Maybe I feel like that's the kind of thing that they'd want to like make sure to go and fix. If you have the option to play as other characters. Oh, I didn't want to throw that. I guess Spearmaster doesn't want to pick up rocks. They're not Rockmaster after all. Nice bomb. Let me just use that for movement in the next room. Oh, nice one. Watcher DLC? We've already talked a lot about Watcher DLC. It's very cool. I think it'll be fun to have another character to speedrun. I hope the speedrun is good and not Spearmaster. But you know, there's a lot of worries, a lot of doubts. I feel like it could either be really good or like kind of mediocre. I think that's the feeling. New iterator? I think it'd be cool if it took place in a new area completely. But a new iterator, I mean, we don't need more iterators. And even if we saw a new iterator, it's like, okay, we've already seen this before. Like, cool, there's gonna be some new dialogue, maybe some interesting lore, but you know, an iterator structure is not an interesting region anymore. It looks like they're definitely aware of that because some of the new regions are like in a completely new environments. Although that kind of does mess with the the continuity of the game, like how these regions exist. Which I, you know, we'll see. Do that. Good job. It's probably going to take a long time to actually see anything about that, though. More silent storytelling? I agree with that. There is maybe too much dialogue added in Downpour. You have new dialogue for all the characters with the iterators. You have Spearmaster's like logs with the iterator conversations. The end of Rivulets, the like final cutscene for Rivulets is kind of awful because it's just like a huge, just a ton of dialogue from Moon at the very end of the game in a way that could have been explained completely visually with no words at all. New pipe yards, let's go. My favorite region. Hey, Red. That spear never sticks, does it? Time to die. I thought that they were going to target the fan, and then they got stuck on the pole. First thing to do in pipe yard, leave. I mean, I guess iterator regions can still be interesting if they are like Silent Construct or Submerged Superstructure, where it's kind of like the ruins of the iterator, less than like the whole functioning thing in zero gravity. You know, what's interesting about Piper is that it was kind of the only region that could exist. Like the only kind of region that they could have added to the DLC that is accessible by every character. Because what is the purpose of every other region on the edges of the map? Metropolis is the ending for Artificer. Outer Expanse is the ending for Gourmand. Submerged Superstructure is the ending for Rivulets. Rubicon is the ending for Saint. Depths is also the ending for like most of the characters, right? But all these regions that are kind of dead ends, you know, you enter the region and there's nowhere to go after that. The point is to end the campaign. That is what those regions are there for. Every other region kind of connects to each other. Like Industrial connects to many other regions. Shaded connects from Industrial to Shoreline. Same with Garbage. Chimney is there to connect from Industrial to the higher regions. Farm Arrays connects to Subterranean, and then you know, all these regions are here to connect to make the world feel more alive, more connected. You know? That's the whole point. So how do you add more regions to that? Well, I guess you just have to make them either act as the ending of a campaign, or as a connecting point to more regions. So that is what Pipe Yard is. It connects to a bunch of other regions, just like every other region already does. Or they have to be for the ending of a campaign, like the Depths is. And I guess, you know, maybe conceptually pipe route is like okay, and the problem with it is mostly the way that the region is. The fact that it kind of just copies the regions that are next to it, or the fact that it's mostly a bunch of tunnels full of mold lizards that are just kind of annoying to navigate. It's probably too big for use as a shortcut. Like all the regions are already so well connected that there's kind of no reason to need more connections. I guess it is a little bit nice to be able to go from industrial to Skylands if you want to do that. That is the only time that I ever want to use pipe route, really. And if you happen to already be in pipe route and you want to go to one of the adjacent regions, then you might as well take that path. Like, you don't really have another option anyway. Like if you want to go to pipe route to do something and then you're like, okay, I need to go to this region next, you know, it's nice to have those connections in that case. But also, you know, if you're not already in pipe route, then there's so many other paths to take. And the kind of sad thing about regions like Outer Expanse, where they do have a purpose for the ending of a campaign, there's not much of a reason to go there because it's only for ending the campaign. You either go there as like Gourmand or Monk or Survivor to finish the run, and that's it. That's the only reason you go there. Or I guess if you want pearls, right? So for how cool the region is, you don't really stick around for that long, you know? It's not like Industrial, it's not like Chimney, where it's like you might actually want to stay here for a while. And then you have a lot of options for where to go next. Although it is fun to explore, there are a lot of like little secrets here and there. Like the tree, or the connection to outskirts. Okay, those are kind of the only examples. I waited so long for that, but I don't think I could have done that any earlier. Okay, I'm probably gonna die here. Yeah. Too many lizards. Have I tried speedrunning Rivulets? Yes, I have. I actually have the world record for Rivulet. It's a pretty fun speedrun. I like it a lot more than this one. They're also probably my favorite character overall. Next to Saint. Let's roll. Let me just do backflip here for no reason. I see food, and I also see a mask. Hey dude, there's bigger things to worry about. Ew! I had no extra spear. I should have thought about that. Everyone wants me to play monk. I kind of want to too. Whoops. I finished the run. 30, 50. The vulture just killed me. If you DMF them, they get mad at you and they just try to kill you. They don't even try to grab you. They just poke you and it kills you instantly. 57-minute time save. I kind of realized there that I needed to get food still, but I didn't have a spear ready, so I'd have to like sit there and generate a spear. And then I didn't think about the fact that I was about to die. That probably should have been the priority, right? Because getting a mask early like that is a huge help. Unfortunately, it's just not reliable. You're not always going to get a vulture to spawn there. It's not always very easy to fight it without running away. 100%. Wormgrass? Don't you just spawn in a room with wormgrass? Or like permanently, permadeath run. Okay, so you need to get food very quickly, and shelter lots, and then die at the end of all that. You suck, Spearmaster. Why don't you just aim better? Vulture cheese? Isn't that the answer to everything? Just vulture cheese? Need more target practice. I'm sure there was plenty of target practice back at 7 Red Suns. Project some targets on the wall. Oh, that's the challenge. The target for, yeah, I don't know what it's called, but you have to like hit the popcorn. That was the training. You gotta love the drop wigs getting right into the worst position possible. It probably isn't unreasonable to assume that slug cats are taught how to throw spears by their parents. Like that's just a thing that they do, because they're pretty proficient at using spears. I think a lot of people think that there's some sort of like teaching mechanic with the slug pups, where if you do something that they will also get good at it. It's kind of like the amiibo fighters in Smash. Like, because you can like train those by playing with them to make them stronger, but what you do doesn't really matter. They just kind of get stronger no matter what. But it's a funny idea. But it would be cool if you could, like, the more that you fight things with spears with the slug pup, the more confident they are with using spears. And there is probably a stat that they can increase to make them better at using spears. But I'm pretty sure that's just something that they'd start with by default, and it never changes. Do they actually learn in any way? Ooh, I'm a fan of that. Big fan of that. Nope, don't do that. So, didn't even matter anyway. And then, of course, I just messed up. Amazing that there's people who do this without even trying to get the mask at all. It's amazing that people speedrun this game, honestly. I'm surprised that a speedrunning community still existed by the time Downpour was announced. I think, at least I hope it did. I wasn't really familiar with it, but Maybe it was dead, I don't know. You are not allowed to use passages to carry the pearl. You need to change the remix setting to allow for that. And it's just not allowed in speedruns. You do have to bring you have to carry the pearl both ways. This is a very difficult speedrun. Don't expect me to actually get anywhere close to finishing a run today. Also, that's really unfortunate that a dropper is that far away. I kind of never expected to actually finish a run. I don't know. It feels like I can't just give up and just say, whatever. World record is fine as it is, you know. And maybe no one would beat it ever. That feels underwhelming. That the one speedrun that I've spent the most time on, I haven't even like finished one run. Hello? Welcome to the stream. I hate this. Even if you get the jump, you can mess it up still. I mean, if you like to pretend that end exists, their story percent run might be harder. It probably is, although I just don't know anything about it. Out of all of the speedruns that I've attempted, it is definitely the most difficult one. But it kind of depends on, oops, well, whatever. It depends on what you mean, what you define by difficult. I don't think that any speedrun is really that difficult if you completely ignore the time part of it. If your only goal is to beat the game, anyone can do that. Anyone can beat Train World. And, you know, eventually, well, no matter how you do it, it's going to take some amount of time. You can say, this is a speedrun. It took 10 hours, but it was a speedrun. That's what I'm going to call it, right? The difficulty that I'm experiencing is trying to beat it in a certain amount of time. And that can become arbitrarily difficult. If you're trying to beat the game in 10 minutes, that is impossible. Good luck. You could say that Rivulet is more difficult. Yeah, that was bad. Like, Rivulets has a lot more movement tech that you have to learn. It has multiple different types of movement, like base Rivulet movement, underwater movement, refraction cell movement, grapple worm movement, all of that you need to learn. I think someone starting from scratch would probably have more difficulty with the Rivulet speedrun. Because for Spearmaster, you just need to know like basic movements, and you need to know how to use a grapple worm. For only like a handful of rooms where the grapple worm is actually necessary, right? Of course, there's more creatures to deal with for Spearmaster, so that's also part of the difficulty. And in that case, I think the Artificer is actually the most difficult one, because just getting to the end and like defeating the boss at the end, that is very difficult. The fact that you're dealing with scavengers and you have to carry the scavenger body with you. It's just that Artificer's way shorter. And the character itself is a lot stronger with a double jump. In terms of, well, my goal is a low 50 time. Maybe around like 50, 53, 52 minutes is what I'd like to get. Current world record is about 55 minutes. I believe someone will have to go and check that. The fastest possible time for Spearmaster is around 49 minutes, if you were to ask me. But I kind of don't imagine that ever happening, I'll be honest. Because that is difficult to get even with creatures disabled with mods. It is hard to get a 50 or 49-minute run. And you basically have to never make any movement mistakes and get perfect RNG with the creatures to get a run like that. The event. Can I talk about the event a bit? Actually, I have a question. How many of you guys in the chat knew that there was an event going on in the past like few weeks? You guys knew because I talked about it. Did you hear or Monk, did you hear about the events outside of my stream? Although I imagine it'd be kind of hard to tell that there's an event going on if you aren't in the Discord. I think that the event was kind of underwhelming, but I guess that's kind of the points. A lot of the other events have had a lot of effort put into them. Like, but I think even without requiring any extra like, without too much more effort, it could have been improved a lot just by changing the format of it. Because it kind of felt the same as if all the speedrunners were just to do normal streams. Because all the event was like a few different runners doing streams of a speedrun and a notification in a Discord channel saying that this person is now streaming. That is all the event was, really. I guess that the people who participated in the events could have decided to put more effort into commentary, like I did. Say, okay, this is not just a normal stream. I'm going to try to explain this run. You know. And some people did that. Some people were kind of acted like it was a normal stream, and that's fine too, I guess. I wasn't told anything. I don't know how much I can talk about this, but I'm gonna assume that it doesn't really matter too much. I was told to stream on a specific day, and that's pretty much it. I probably could have just chosen to not give any commentary and just play the game in silence, if I wanted to. so I do not even have spears ready. I think at the very least, what would have been better is if the runs were hosted on the Rainbow Speedrunning Twitch channel, because at least people would have a single point to go to check out the event. It's like, hey, here's an event going on. Go to the Rainbow Speedrunning Twitch channel if you want to watch this event. Or, although this is kind of out there, I don't know how feasible this would have been considering all the people's schedules and stuff, but I think it would have been cool if all of the streams or all the runs were done on one day, all back to back in chronological order. So start with Spearmaster, then Artificer, then Hunter, you know, and so on. Because then you would have seen the whole timeline of the game in one day in the form of a speedrun. I think that would have been more interesting. Kind of like a relay, you know. Also, the event, did it even have like a name? I just keep calling it the event. I guess it was for the Rainbow anniversary, right? But it was just like we're doing this thing. People are doing speedruns. That's kind of like all the explanation was. Yeah, that wasn't even. Also, the previous events with the Twitch integration, I also did not like that event. But that's probably more of a me thing. Just because I found that the Twitch integration stuff was just kind of annoying. I realized that I did not enjoy the game when it's that chaotic, because you just randomly die to lizards. Sometimes you can't even move properly because gravity is changing, your stats are changing, you're being teleported around, and you basically have like no influence over the game at all if there's too much going on. Wonder what a co-op speedrun would look like? I wonder that too. I don't think multiplayer works well enough for that to really work out. A good Discord challenge for the speedrun event. Journey. Didn't you already do that one? Wasn't that what the just as like a showcase, like, hey, I'm speedrunning this challenge. How fast can I complete this challenge? I guess it'd want to be a challenge that has some interesting tech to like showcase. Like, here's a cool thing that you may not know about. If it requires lineaging, I'm definitely not buying challenge. Lineaging is always just kind of boring. Any of the challenges, I feel like a lot of challenges are kind of boring. Maybe something like Scholar or the Unlocks one, Collector. Those are very long though. They'd take like several hours to complete, but the routing would be kind of interesting, and they'd be a very good tour of the world as a whole. If that's what you're looking for. I don't remember all the challenges. I mean, I've done only like a few of them so far. You go look at. Actually, you know what? Who cares about the speedrun? I'm gonna look at those right now because that's more interesting. Dissension. I think someone actually already did Dissension, right? In one of the like previous speedrun events. And would you want to look for something that is like a single like cycle challenge or like a full like run challenge. I guess that depends on how long you want the whole thing to be. Because some of them are pretty interesting, but they only take a single cycle, so they'd be over real quick. Like Visions, yes. And some of these challenges I have not gotten to yet, so I'm not too familiar with how they actually look. A full run challenge. I feel like some of the more difficult ones would just be really annoying and possibly take a lot of attempts. Maybe Outlaw. Get 10k points in a hunter run. I don't know, has anyone speedran a score run? Because usually you try to go as long as possible, get as many points as possible, right? But what if it was just some amount of points, right? Hunter actually, or Ranger. Ranger could be a really good one. Kill 32 unique creatures in one run. That could be a good one. But like, if your goal is to only get 10k points, like what are the passages you need to get? What creature kills you need to get? You need to like count your points though. I guess there's a mod for that, right? But just see like get this number of points and then like ascend like as fast as possible. Maybe that wouldn't even be required. You just like die as quick as possible. I think Ranger is a good one if you want to play Hunter. Or Saint. Although actually that's not really that interesting. That's just like Hunter story without any killing. So it's just a little bit more difficult. Yeah. So okay, here's a list of the ones I think might be interesting. Fish Tank, Ascension, and Ranger, or Collector. And Scholar, where you're traveling across the whole map and like trying to get things. Rangers is kind of the same, but you're killing things instead. MSC challenges? I'm not really familiar with these. You could do the Heritage one. That actually sounds kind of funny. Where you bring a slug up to Outer Expanse and drop them down the hole. That's a pretty good one. It does seem like it's one of the easier ones though. I don't know how long that takes because you'll need to get over a few regions. The one for all unlocks is Collector. Anyway, this wonderful game. He really wants me to play Monk. Oops. Yeah, let me just go play Monk instead. They're the better character anyway. I don't even know if the cloak is in the right spot, so I'd have to like reset the save file first. Definitely haven't made that mistake before. Should pick those up. Oops, I wasn't even looking. I just kind of ended up there. The cloak, the thing with the cloak is that it's off on the very edge of submerged superstructure. If you collect the cloak and bring it to Moon, then it will permanently Moon will permanently have the cloak. Even if you reset the game, even if you play on some other characters, it depends on the timeline though. Like if you get the cloak, actually I don't know if it depends on the timeline. I haven't tested that. But if you get the cloak as Spearmaster or as Survivor, then you can go visit Moon as Monk and she will have the cloak. Which means that if you try to go get the cloak in submerged superstructure, it won't be there. So you need to like fully reset your save file, which you have to go into like your game files and delete it. Just to make sure that you can do the speedrun. Because part of the speedrun requires that you get the cloak. Jeez, that sounds awful. Okay, Spearmaster speedruns are back. I'm so excited. Yippee. Like, I don't think it's that bad to have to reset the save file. It's just that you need to remember to do it. And also do it on a save file where you don't really care about it. Maybe we should play another game again. I could continue Terraria. I have a lot of ideas for Terraria, but I don't think most of them are feasible. Spearmaster is the hardest speedrun, in my opinion, and experience. Because I've had this idea for Terraria for like a year now. It was like a thing that I've wanted to do eventually. Also, this is really bad, but whatever. Basically, it'd be like a hardcore multiplayer server where you can join in at the very beginning of the run, and if you die, you cannot join back. And we start with some number of people and just see how many can make it to the end, if we can even make it to the end at all. However, I don't know how to make a server. I don't know how to organize that. And I don't know how many people are going to want to play Terraria, so, you know, maybe the kind of thing that you do if you have, like, 10 times as many viewers as I do. And someone to, like, manage all that other stuff. I have seen... I don't know if I've ever seen, like, if that kind of thing done on that scale with, like, a large group. But I really like the idea. See, like, who can last? You know, who wants to take the early risks for the betterment of the group in the late game? Like maybe it's not worth it to try to fight the wall of flesh on your own, or even with the group. Maybe you should like hope that the group can take care of it and like keep yourself alive for like the mech bosses, you know. This run sucks. You know what? We're gonna skip the vulture mask. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'd have to play hardcore Terraria myself first. See if I could even survive. I mean, like 30 seconds behind. If you pause and unpause the stream, it can catch up if you're on Twitch. I assume that the way that you do it is you would keep a list of everyone who's joined, and only let people join if they are on the list and haven't died yet. So if some new person just tries to show up, then you just kick them by default. And if someone tries to join who's died before, then you also just kick them. Yeah. Okay, I said I was gonna not kill the vulture also. I forgot. And I wonder if that kind of idea would work with like any other game, but it's hard to get multiplayer to work for so many games, unless you know how to make a server, which I definitely don't. Rain World, yeah, I wish. It just can't work with this game, unless some like mods get made that have that functionality. Yes, I do plan on speedrunning the Watcher. I've already speedrun every character so far, even the ones that I don't like Spearmaster. I mean, not really. I'm planning on I will stream the Watcher when it comes out, and I'll just play it casually. I'm not gonna try to speedrun it immediately. We're not even gonna be allowed to submit speedruns to the leaderboards for at least a week. I might disable the chat. I don't know. I think there's definitely some games that I want to play that I will have the chat disabled for. Tunic is an example of a game that I might stream someday without the chat, because it's that kind of game. Emote only. I don't know, maybe it's not a huge deal, because if I play it right when it comes out, it's not like people are going to have spoilers anyway. But yeah, spoilers are the main thing, but also like backseating. Because I very, very rarely get the chance to play a game completely blind. Tunic, it is a interesting game. I don't even know much about it. It's like sort of like Zelda-ish, but it's very like cryptic. It's very like there's a lot of secrets, a lot of things to discover, and I've heard that it's very good. But I've only seen like the very beginning of the game, and I've not played it myself. But sometimes I think like, do I want to stream a game and potentially ruin the experience for myself? Because there is some amount of pressure just from streaming, just knowing that people are watching you. Like for Rain World, I don't care at all, because it's like a game that I'm already very familiar with. And pretty much every game that I've played on the channel so far is one that I've already played for a very long time. Except for Downpour right when it came out, I guess. I was a little bit blind to that. Okay, whatever you guys are doing in the chat, I mean, I hope you guys are having fun, but I don't know what to think of it. Is it supposed to be leaving? No, because there's like not any conversation going on at all. It's just like. Yeah, okay. You guys can have fun. Head over to Twitch chat if you want to use normal words. I'll read Twitch chat instead. This movement sucks, by the way. Actually, all my movement so far. I don't know, I feel like I'm not doing great. One eye poking through. Mask. For a second, whenever I turn, that's funny. It's like, let me look that way and then that way. I forgot the hazer. You. I have an idea. Actually, maybe not. I don't know. Wonder where that guy got his spear. It would be kind of cool if dropwigs like stashed away rare items, like they did pearls and explosive spears, the kind of the items that they use for baits. Like, hey, I could use this later. And then they could only use those items that they've collected as bait in later cycles. I think that makes sense. Got jump scared. I can't do this jump for some reason. Not even that hard. The dangerous thing about science is that that one way back there is still a threat to me right now. And they still are, and they will be until I leave the region. Any other lizard would just be left behind. Also, remember, the very first run of the stream was the one that made it the furthest. It's real. It's a real thing. The first run is always the easiest for some reason. I don't know if it's just because it's the first attempt or if it's because there's something in the game that is actually different when you reset it compared to when you like first open the game. Oh, I just missed. I mean, I'm not even. Yeah, you know what? I was doing speedruns, but let's just go do this other challenge real quick. This is the kind of thing that makes me feel like I'm never gonna finish this run. Like, whenever I do attempts, I just kind of don't feel great about it. I just never really enjoy the process. It's like, why do streams that I don't enjoy, you know? I could do the challenges. I've been enjoying the challenges. I mean, for now. Maybe some future challenges will be a lot more difficult. But so far the challenges have been fun. I could speedrun Monk. I mean, it's been frustrating that I haven't been able to finish a run, but at least I can like make some progress consistently, you know. Ruby is pretty fun. I can play like any other game too. Like, nope. You know the speedrun that you still haven't finished a run of? Yeah, how about you do that instead? I don't know. Maybe I can convince someone else to get the world record for me. Anyone interested in doing this run other than myself? If only the original world record holder didn't do a dumb challenge at the same time. World record would be like 53 minutes. Nope, that's my food. This white lizard will notice the centipede is very dry. You know what? Let's approach this run differently. Just this one run. Maybe I can get this to work. Isn't the pearl in the memory complex area of submerged superstructure? And it's the pearl where it's like, oh, this is my personal notes and whatever, blah, blah, blah. Please put it back. Moon tells you to go put the pearl back. Is it that pearl or is there another one that I don't know about? You can also get that pearl at Spearmaster. I mean, if you're already in submerged, like, you might as well go get it, right? If you went there to get the pearl, why like enter the region and just leave right afterwards? I'm that bad. Okay, this run actually. I was kidding about the last one. Oh, good luck with that. Hope they can hold their breaths too. That's a very interesting tail. I couldn't even throw a spear. Shout out to that dropwig for being annoying as possible. They know which spot they need to go to. I don't even know. This probably won't work. I wasn't high enough. Yo, calm down. And that egg bug just comes out of nowhere. Who knows? Yeah, the red lizards actually do have a little bit of variation in their color. They're not always the same extremely bright red. If you look at their palette, I imagine it would look like half red and then half like a gradient from red to a slightly lighter red. King, of course. Hello? There we go. What do I do about this? Okay. I could have died, by the way. That was just completely random. Eyeless with tails kind of look like echoes. I have learned the whiplash thing for this, by the way, but I'm just not very consistent at it. I've done it at least once. For surfing. Blind game. few pebbles. Wrong weights. Well, what's that? Yeah. Thanks for watching. See ya.